What is going on, everybody? It's the France, and we're here for our AEW Revolution 2021 review, March 7, 2021, with... They advertised an exploding barbed wire death match, and what the main event tonight was a half-assed attempt at a exploding barbed wire death match. We'll get to that here in a bit. But, outside of the main events and the ladder match, which I will get into why I did not like that ladder match, everything else this show was pretty fucking good. We were promised two surprises tonight. Who was going to be the sixth man in the ladder match, and who was going to be the big Hall of Fame worthy multi-year contract signing. But Tony Khan had one more surprise up his sleeve. If you watch the AEW Women's Eliminator Tournament on YouTube /BR Live, and you watch the Japanese side, which had some of the best matches, I don't give a fuck what anyone says, they had some of the best fucking matches, you saw one particular wrestler that captured the hearts of everybody. One Maki Ito. Britt Baker was signed to a match with Rebel against Thunder Rosa and reveiw. So, before the show started tonight, Britt Baker had a doctor's note from her own ledger saying that Rebel could not wrestle, so she needed another partner. Of course, it was a bullshit injury. We'll get into that in a minute. This was on the buy-in, of course. And lo and behold, her tag team partner is the one, the only Maki Ito. And apparently, I don't know if they used a private jet, but Excalibur explained that she was on a flight last night to get here today for this match tonight. So, the biggest reason why I have a problem with this because one of the biggest reasons why Jon Moxley has not been seen in New Japan Pro Wrestling until his match with Kenta is because from leaving the United States to go to Japan, you need to quarantine for 2 weeks. When you leave here, go to Japan, quarantine another 2 weeks, do your business, quarantine another 2 weeks, and then come back and then quarantine for another 2 weeks. So, Maki Ito did not come back on the trip with Ryo Mizunami and Hikaru Shida. Apparently, according to Excalibur, she left sometime last night. Made her way over here, was added to this match. She made this match great until the end. Stumble one of the night was how this match ended. You bring Maki Ito in as the special, the first surprise of the night. We're going to have 3 surprises now because Maki Ito was brought in. If you don't know her, I've only seen her in her AEW Eliminator Tournament matches and tonight, and the 6-woman match she had on the finals of the Japanese side. And what I've seen is great. She's a rock star. She's a pop star from Japan. She was in a group, then started wrestling, got kicked out of that group, and then her and I guess her tag team partner in Japan decided, well, I'm not in this group anymore, let's start our own. And that's what she does over there as well. And she is a hell of a wrestler. She can play babyface or heel. She comes out rocking and singing her own song, singing her own music, which when she started it off tonight, you can tell that she was, I don't think used to over here or something because she sounded off, but I think it has to do with the fact that if she was traveling overnight, which would be fucking insane, whether there was COVID restriction or not, that's an 18-plus hour trip from Japan to the United States. So, she got over here and was in this match. When reveiw, Thunder Rosa, or Maki Ito were in the match was good. Britt Baker pulled the match down, and the match started to slow down with Britt Baker. Now, here's the fucking problem. Rosa goes for a Death Valley driver toward the end. Fucking Rebel, who's supposed to be injured, gets up on the apron. Thunder Rosa kicks her down. She sits on the apron, grabs her crutch. Referee gets distracted. Thunder Rosa thrown into Rebel, hits her with the crutch, and Britt Baker picks up the win. If you were going to have Britt Baker and Maka Ito win, Maka Ito should have taken the pinfall and got the win. That's my opinion. Britt Baker fucking sucks. Again, this match, when Britt Baker wasn't in it, was fucking great for the women's division. The minute Britt Baker tags in, the match quality goes down every single fucking time. Maka Ito got to make her American debut for AEW. It was her portion of the match was great. And if you think this is a one-time only thing for Maka Ito over here in America, you're dead wrong, because she will have a match on Wednesday, and we'll talk about that when that development happens. So, Maka Ito wins her first match in AEW. So we start the show off. Jim Crockett, they put a title card up for Jim Crockett Jr., who passed away earlier this week. And we go right into the Young Bucks versus MJF and Chris Jericho for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Now, my one complaint is the fact that this opened the show, and we know that there's a tag team Royal Rumble type match later in the show to determine the number one contenders for the tag team championships. I would have had the tag team title match later, started the show with the Battle Royal, or the Royal Rumble, but the Battle Royal, the Tag Team Rumble, have the winners of that match come out after this match was over to have a stare down with them and the Young Bucks. That's just me. Or you could have had the Young Bucks, which the Young Bucks, of course, won this match. This was fucking good. Yes, the Young Bucks won, spoiler alert, but this was a fucking good match. Chris Jericho, MJF playing the dastardly heels, as always. Just trying to use every dirty trick in the book to win this match. But they couldn't win no matter what. The Bucks kept on just pushing and pushing. So many great things in this match. Jericho actually took a Meltzer driver and a BTE trigger. The Meltzer driver put him away for the 1-2-3. Jericho, as we know, he's been in AEW since the beginning, doesn't usually take pinfalls. If he's in a tag team match, it's usually his opponent, his teammate. If his team loses, it's his teammate that takes the pinfall. That just shows that he's we're not going to have Jericho take precedence over MJF. MJF should be protected. He should not have taken the pinfall in this. So good on them. Good on them. Now, we go to the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal, or the Tag Team Royale, they called it. Now, the rules of this match are simple. 2 teams start. Every 90 seconds, a new team comes out. One team is only eliminated when both members of a team are eliminated. And then, so basically you could have, let's say, Jurassic Express and 5 from the Dark Order and Santana be your final 4. Spoiler alert, that's not it, but I'm just giving you an example. And Jurassic Express eliminates both of those guys and they win. Or you could have Jungle Boy, Pac, Santana, and John Silver be your final 4, and one of those would be the winner. So we start off with the Natural Nightmares and 5 and 10 of the Dark Order. So they go for the first few minutes of this match. Then we have 5 who gets eliminated from, Santana and Ortiz are the next ones in. QT Marshall hits the Diamond Cutter on 5 and he eliminates him. So he was the first man to be eliminated from said match. So again, as I explained earlier, you have to have both members leave the match for them to be eliminated. So, yeah, good start for them right there. Hold on here. Then we had the Gun Club come out next. They came out. It was not Billy. It was Austin and Colton Gunn. So they were your next two members, the next team to come out. So they come out. They're a House of Fire, just like everybody else who gets in here. So, let me see here. Stu Grayson and Evil Uno are out next. Matt Sydal, and the Sydal brothers came out as well. They were out next, actually. Let me, have I had this right? Yeah, Prowling from came out. 5 got eliminated. Then the Sydal brothers came out. Then Stuart Grayson and Evil Uno from the Dark Order. Mike Sydal gets eliminated, but all teams were still alive at the time. Gun Club were out next. They joined the match. Mike Sydal gets eliminated. The Sydal brothers were the first team to be eliminated. Peter Avalon and Cesar Bononi are next to Team In, which I saw their name is called Pretty Something. I can't remember what it is. Varsity Blondes are next up. They entered the match, and the ring is filling up. Peter Avalon gets eliminated. Cesar Bononi and the Young Club both get eliminated by QT Marshall. And then something crazy happens. This is a tag team royale. It's like a Royal Rumble, but it's your teams. Every team for themselves. For whatever fucking reason, QT Marshall eliminates the Gun Club and Cesar Bononi, eliminating 2 tag teams. What does his tag team partner do? He comes over and is like, "What the hell, man? What are you doing?" I'm like, wait a minute. Why are you getting mad that QT Marshall just eliminated 3 opponents, 2 tag teams from the match? That's one step closer to your team winning the match. So what does QT Marshall do? He says, "Fuck this," jumps out of the ring, and is out. So he eliminates himself because Dustin decided he wanted to be Team Nightmare instead of Team Nightmare, Natural Nightmares. Bear Country came out next. Stu Grayson gets eliminated. Jurassic Express is out after that, and elimination started picking up. Ortiz gets eliminated. Cesar Bononi eliminated his team. Griff Garrison is gone. Griff Garrison, Ortiz, and Evil Uno all eliminated just like that. Butcher and Blade come out. 10 gets eliminated thanks to Jack Evans, who is also on Matt Hardy's payroll still. Allie comes out to help the Butcher and the Blade. She helps eliminate Dustin. Private Party coming out in new black and gold gear make their way into the match. SCU's out next to join the match, which Tony Schiavone was wondering if they lose this, would they stop being a tag team? And of course, why would you end your tag team career on a battle royal? I mean, come on, seriously. Luchasaurus gets eliminated, then Bear Country eliminated, and Death Triangle makes their way into the match. Then Blade and Mark Quinn get eliminated by Death Triangle just out of nowhere. Dark Order's John Silver and Alex Reynolds are the final 2 teams in the Battle Royal. Cassidy gets eliminated, Private Party is out, Butcher and Blade both eliminated. No number 2, and we were down to 4 teams. 3, 4, and Jungle Boy. Daniels gets eliminated, then Reynolds eliminated a few minutes later. 4 men, 3 teams, Death Triangle, John Silver, and Jungle Boy are all that remains. John Silver gets eliminated. 2-on-1 Death Triangle versus Jungle Boy. Who will win it? Pac eliminated down to Phoenix and Jungle Boy. And we got ourselves a nice little mini match. There was a part where Jungle Boy gets sent to the outside, but he wasn't eliminated. So Phoenix decides he's going to do a tope through the ring, through the ropes, so he doesn't get eliminated. Jungle Boy looks to eliminate Phoenix. Phoenix blocks that, swings back around inside, kicks him in the head, throws him out. Death Triangle are the number 1 contenders to the AEW World Tag Team Championships. What a match. What a battle royal. Good fucking match. So, then we see DDP in the audience and Al Snow in the audience. Good for them. Dasha talks with Paul White about who the new talent is. White says only people know right now is himself, Tony Khan, and the new talent. White says he's going to have the scoops going forward. Is going to give a little hint. White says he doesn't think anyone can outwork this new talent. And honestly, with who it is, I don't buy that. I don't buy that one bit, but we'll talk about that here in a bit. Hikaru Shida versus Ryo Mizunami, AEW Women's World Championship. This was by far the best women's championship match in this promotion's history. Okay, here's the notes. 2 fucking Japanese Joshi wrestlers beat the living piss out of each other. End scene. That's exactly what happened here. Now, the story about this match, these guys have history. About 10 years ago, apparently, Ryo Mizunami told Hikaru Shida, if we wrestled each other for 100 years, you will never beat me. And apparently, they've had 3 matches against each other, and I believe all of them went to a draw. So, Hikaru Shida not only has to defend the AEW Women's Championship, but she also has to get rid of that demon of reveiw Mizunami, who she has never defeated in a singles match before. And remember, these two did team together at the original AEW Double or Nothing, I believe in a winning effort. So, again, two Japanese Joshis beating the piss out of each other. Mizunami hits a spear on Shida and heads to the top for the guillotine leg drop. Hits it, doesn't go for a very strong cover, so Shida's able to get up. Shida hits a German suplex. Mizunami right back up and clubs Shida in the back of the head. Shida nails a Falcon Arrow, kick and punch to the face. Then a knee to the back of the head. Lands a second Falcon Arrow. Cover 2. Shida with a knee strike. Shida ducks a punch, poke in the eye. Cover 2. Shida hits a running knee to the face. Mizunami counters that into a quick pin for a 2. Shida is giving her opponent everything she has and can't get the 3 count. She finally hits a spinning knee. One of those karate type spinning knees to the head. 1, 2, 3. reveiw Mizunami fought hard. This was the best women's championship match in AEW history. I know a lot of people say the Nyla Rose match where she won the AEW Women's Championship from Riho was one of the best matches ever. But this was fucking great. These two went out there, beat the piss out of each other. Definitely probably one of the best matches of the night. And honestly, after this, the quality of the show really does start going down. Post-match, Nyla Rose runs down and attacks both women. Vicky Guerrero laughs it up and kicks Shida. Champion rises up and knocks Rose down. Britt Baker and Maki Ito both run out and swing away on Shida and Mizunami. Baker and Rose face off for a moment, then laughs it up as Rebel smacks Shida with a crutch. Out comes Thunder Rosa to make the save. And this sets up a match for Wednesday. It'll be Britt Baker and Rebel and Maki Ito versus Thunder Rosa, Hikaru Shida, and reveiw Mizunami. Why it's not Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, and Maki Ito is beyond me. They don't, if you're going to have Nyla Rose go out there and fight these two and beat the hell out of these two, just to not even be put into the 6-woman tag match on Wednesday is beyond me. But that's going to happen this Wednesday. So it's going to be great to see Maki Ito again. I hope they do have a couple matches for her on Dark or something. That would be great. I mean, she's not going to be here forever. She does have her commitments in Japan for her group, her singing group or pop group, whatever it is, her wrestling, wherever she's wrestling at right now. But it's great to see that Maki Ito is sticking around with AEW. All I saw was positive things for her when AEW had her in the women's tournament, and obviously that made her in AEW something that they wanted to do. So good. So let's see what happens with Maki Ito. So backstage, Miro and Kip Sabian ambush Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Miro throws Taylor into a glass section of a door, heads to the ring and says, "Play my music." Takes him out there. He beats the hell out of him. So we have Miro and Kip Sabian versus Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy. This was not much of a match. Now, for the majority of this match, Chuck Taylor's getting his ass kicked. He's getting beat pillar to post. Eventually, Orange Cassidy comes out. You figured, well, they got the drop. They beat them down on Dark last night. They got the drop at the beginning of this show tonight for this. And you figured that, all this is happening, that Miro is going to, they're going to lose. You're going to get an orange punch, a couple orange punches maybe, and Orange Cassidy is going to get the win on Miro. But no, that did not happen. He did get the couple of orange punches, but when he goes for a final one, but Penelope Ford's in the way, Miro takes him down, tags in. He wasn't even the legal man. Of course, the referee's terrible at this shit. He does get finally tagged in, beats up on Chuck Taylor, puts him into the game over, and wins. Just wins. Please, 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 please end this fucking feud. It's done. Miro won. That is it. They won. He won him for a couple weeks before the wedding. He won the match tonight. Enough. No more between Miro and the best friends. Miro, oh yeah, when Orange Cassidy stopped because Penelope Ford was in the way, Miro shoved Orange Cassidy into Penelope Ford, knocking her off the apron. So I think that the seeds to break those two up is planted. I hope they do that because, quite honestly, again, Miro does not need to be in a tag team. He said something about wanting to be in the world title picture. It's time to move away from Kip Sabian and these guys. It's like, come on. So, we move on that we have Alex Marvez backstage with Chris Jericho and MJF. And he's like, well, we didn't fail tonight. I know we lost, but with every great army that to fight a war, we all, like, if you have setbacks, you need to make some changes. So this Wednesday, we're going to have a Inner Circle War Council, and it's time to make some changes. MJF agrees, and they will do something to make the group stronger. Will this be the end of Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle? Will Chris Jericho be ousted as the leader of the Inner Circle? This Wednesday will be interesting just for that. Matt Hardy versus Hangman Adam Page. This was decent. It was good. I wouldn't say this was a bad match, but again, after Shida versus Ryo Mizunami, this show just seemed to go downhill. Just started to go downhill. The Miro Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor match should have been on the buy-in. Honestly, finish aside for the women's match on the buy-in, that match should have been on the pay-per-view, especially with the fact that you had a surprise in Maki Ito being Britt Baker's partner and Maki Ito working 85% of the match. That should have been on the main show, while Orange Cassidy and Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor versus Miro and Kip Sabian should have been on the buy-in. It was a low-quality match, and the way they booked it and the way they did it, it just should have been on the buy-in. But this match you had here, Matt Hardy spent a good portion of the beginning of this match trying to pretty much break Hangman Adam Page's hand. Because if you think about it, he needs both hands to be able to launch over the ropes for the buckshot lariat. If you take one of those hands out, unless the guy's really good at doing it with one hand, he can't do that. So, these two are having themselves a match, and you figured, oh, well, Matt Hardy's either going to win because of his partners, or he's going to lose because of the Dark Order. Which one do you think went to? Now, going into this match, there was only, to me, one clear winner. It had to be Hangman Adam Page. Matt Hardy is using his big money Matt gimmick right now. And, of course, Matt Hardy is a little deranged, too. Why? What purpose would it have served for Hangman Adam Page to lose this match? He lost the match. He gives Matt Hardy a check for his first quarter earnings, and then he moves on with his life. What else are you going to do? Matt Hardy losing gives Matt Hardy a reason to become more deranged, more fucking, what do you want to call it? More delusional, more pissed off. Because if Matt Hardy wins, the feud's over, they're done with, you move on. Matt Hardy gets his money, he gloats about it on Wednesday, and that is that. Here, they had a bigger story to tell. 4 months. 4 months. Pretty much since before Brody passed. John Silver and the Dark Order have been trying to recruit Hangman Adam Page into the group. A couple weeks ago, when Hangman was teaming with John Silver and Alex Reynolds after that match, Silver is like, will you join the Dark Order? And Hangman Adam Page told him, I can't. In which, I give it to John Silver and them, they didn't give up. They knew that this guy was going to need help, and they knew this guy needed fans, needed somebody. They were going to be there to help him, and that helped them. They did. Because the match is coming down to the end. And it looks like it's going to be Hangman winning the match. But Deadeye by Hangman. Isaiah Cassidy jumps on the apron for the distraction. Quinn on the other side. Now, the commentators they haven't done anything, so they really can't throw him out. They haven't done anything. They're just standing there. Hangman Page can ignore them and just go back to Matt Hardy. But why the hell not? Just knock them both off. Now, Page hits a buckshot with the buckshot there, but he goes right to the side effect in the Twist of Fate. Cover 2. But Matt Hardy wants help, but out comes the Dark Order. They clean Private Party up. They beat the hell out of him. Page ends up on the apron. Evil Uno gets everyone else behind Page. Matt Hardy knocks Page backwards. He falls into the Dark Order, who help him up. Buckshot Larry. 1, 2, 3. Hangman Adam Page gets the win, thanks to the Dark Order. After the match, he's celebrating. Uno's the first one to get there. They all embrace him in a hug. He gets into the corner away from them all, turns around, and then just arms out, comes in, big group hug. He looks, I don't know if he's officially joined the Dark Order, but he has accepted the Dark Order in one way. As people who've got his back. Now, of course, the Dark Order babyfaces since, Brody passed. If AEW really wanted to do the dirtiest thing they could on this show, at this time in the show, and they wanted to make the Dark Order heel stable again, they do the whole group hug thing, and then they beat down Hangman Page. Thankfully, they didn't do that, because that would have been WCW, WWE territory. So, yeah. Having him have that match a month or two ago, and tell them I can't and walk off, was perfect. This was the perfect time. You don't do a big, I'm going to accept you guys on TV. Because it just didn't feel like that would have been the right time. Having him do it tonight after weeks of Dark Order, having his back, and showing him that you have people out there who want to help you, tonight was the night to do it, and it made the most sense. Now, we go into a 6-man ladder match. Cody Rhodes versus Penta El Zero versus Scorpio Sky versus Lance Archer versus Max Caster, and a mystery opponent. Who is that mystery opponent? Why, one and only, all ego Ethan Page. Good on him. The last time anybody saw Ethan Page at Impact Wrestling was embarrassing him with a Ethan Page versus Ninja Man cinematic bullshit match. Something that he disavowed pretty much immediately after it was over because of how bad they edited it. So here you go. Now, I hated this match after one spot. Penta El Zero Miedo took Cody Rhodes, hit him with a Canadian Destroyer onto a steel ladder. The ladder did not break because it wasn't a ladder meant to break, and Cody was taken out. So, Cody is taken to the tunnel. They're slowly taking him to the back. And I'm sitting here at 10:17. It's on my mind's account. You can look at it. 10:17 tonight. I said, if Cody Rhodes comes back in this match and valiantly tries to win it, I'm going to be fucking pissed. Because that's WWE booking right there. Why would you do that? I'm sorry, but Cody Rhodes should not be booked to look like Superman all the fucking time. He just took a Canadian Destroyer. He has now, I know why they did that to him. Why they had him miss majority of the match. He has a fucking meniscus tear. Not a meniscus, a rotator tear. Or something wrong with his rotator cuff. That's why he had kinesio tape on his shoulder tonight. That's why they took him out for the bit, so he didn't have to work the entire match. If he wasn't going to win, you do the spot, you don't need him anymore. There's 5 other guys who can carry the fucking match. So, we go through the match. The match is fine. The match is going good. And then, of course, as I figured, Cody Rhodes comes back as if he's the big conquering hero. And everybody in the fucking crowd, all 1,300 of you, fell for it like a bunch of idiots. Yes, you cheered on it. You thought it was a good fucking spot. No, it was dumb. It should have never happened. If Cody Rhodes can't be there, if Cody Rhodes could not work the entire fucking match because of his shoulder injury, you take him out of the match. The match did not need Cody Rhodes. You could have put his brother there. You could have put anybody there. You could have put anybody in that spots. If Cody's having a shoulder injury or has shoulder problems right now and he needs to rest, don't put him in the match. It's that simple. Because then you have him come back with his belt, whipping everybody around, looking like, oh, he's going to win this thing easily. That's what they're going to do. They're going to have Cody leave, come back, and win. Thankfully, that did not happen, but it came oh so close. So there's a spot towards the end of the match where Lance Archer just chokeslams the hell out of everybody. Ethan Page says, no, motherfucker, I'm not letting you win this thing. So the match comes all the way down to Scorpio Sky and Cody Rhodes fighting up for this huge-ass brass donut. They called it a brass ring, but it's a brass donut. A ring is something you put on your finger. This was a donut. So they're beating the hell out of each other. Scorpio hits him in the shoulder or something. They swing away. He puts the bat arm, whacks it down, says something to Cody that we couldn't hear because the commentator's talking, shoves him down, poses for a bit because he knows nobody's going to be able to stop him, grabs the big brass donut, and wins a title match on Wednesday. So Cody, Scorpio Sky will get a match on Wednesday if Darby Allin is able to compete. So, who was the mystery man in AEW? Who was the big signing? The big signing that was going to rock, and he was a Hall of Fame worthy talent. If you didn't know, the second the music started playing, you're an idiot. The second the countdown started and the music was playing, I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It's Christian fucking Cage. Yep. Christian Cage. Christian Cage signs with AEW. So, hey, I know Twitter, Instagram, all probably melted down. Holy shit. What a... I don't think it was a big... Honestly, I don't think he can... I don't think that when Big Show said that I don't think anyone can outwork Christian Cage, I think that's a little... like, Christian's good. Like, Jay's good at what he does. He's a good wrestler, but I don't see him being somebody who could just outwork anybody. I'm sorry. It's just... I'm going to have a little problem with that one. Him having that remark. Like I said, he's a good wrestler, but he's not... So, yeah, Christian Cage is the big thing, and I guarantee there's going to be a lot of people disappointed. Sting, Darby Allin, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, street fight tag team match. Cinematic as can be, and will somebody please tell these motherfuckers in AEW, if you're doing a cinematic match, kill the commentary. Kill the crowd noise. It takes away from the match. Holy shit, do not do this shit. Do not do. Don't do that. Just don't fucking do that. It's not that hard to say, well, we're going to do a cinematic match, but we're going to kill the commentary and kill everything else, because that's how a good cinematic match goes. Also, this is a street fight. Why the fuck is there a ring here? Why are we having a match inside a ring in an undisclosed location? This one is just one of those ones where you beat, like, so Brian Cage and Ricky Starks, who came in looking like he was wearing a flak jacket, coming in a really, really good expensive car. Then we see Sting driving up with his pickup, really nice looking pickup, blasting Darby Allin's music apparently in his vehicle. While they're arriving, we see a bunch of men in hooded sweaters, black hooded sweaters, and Sting masks coming close. So they eventually get there. Darby Allin catches a ride on Sting's truck as they get to the match. So they come in. We have all the hoodlums surrounding the ring as this match starts. Sting actually grabs Darby Allin, grabs him and throws him into Brian Cage, and the street fight is on. Four dudes going out there beating the piss out of each other, and holy shit, did they hurt? Did they do a lot of shit? And it was a cinematic match, alright. It was decent. Now, I do not agree with the finish on this one at all. Sting comes back. Yeah, Sting is going to have a couple matches here and there. Should Sting go out there in his first pay-per-view and win against a young up-and-comer? No. Sting is the veteran. Sting should be putting some people over. Sting losing the dart to Ricky Starks would have been a way to pay off Ricky Starks talking shit to Sting all this time. But no, what did they do? You had, of course, Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs make their presence known. But Sting, who ended up throwing his bat away early on, gets the bat thrown to him by Darby Allin, and he beats the hell out of everybody. They had this big board across this gap. They had Brian Cage on it. Darby Allin decides he's going to do not a coffin drop, but an elbow drop to Brian Cage through this, so they were dead, so it was just down to Sting and Ricky Starks, as it should have been. Because out of everybody in Team Taz who's been going after Sting, personally, it's been Ricky Starks. So they get back in the ring. Sting goes for the Stinger Splash. Nobody home, and then Cordon gets exposed. Starks lands a big spear, but gets a 2 count. Sting escapes the powerbomb, goes right to the cover. Sting is able to hit the Scorpion Death Drop, and gets the win. So, I think that Ricky Starks should have got the win. Would have added to his credit of he beat Sting. May have been cinematic, but he beat Sting. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Now. Let's talk about the mockery that was the main event. The exploding barbed wire death match. Or what I call the half-assed exploding barbed wire death match. Because whoever put this thing together should absolutely be fired. This was terrible. The match itself, I guess, was fine. But the whole thing was terrible. So, first off, exploding barbed wire death match is supposed to have no ring ropes, barbed wire, explosions. We had the barbed wire, we had the explosions. But in the ring, it's supposed to be all 4 sides are supposed to be barbed wire. What did they do? They gave you 3 sides. And Excalibur's like, oh, for precaution, we have one side of the ring left open in case Doc Samson needs to come in. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. It was a lie. Everybody in the Brother knew the Good Brothers were going to get involved, and they had to keep one side open because if they didn't, nobody was going to get involved. But that's the fucking point of a exploding barbed wire death match. All 4 sides are supposed to be covered, so the only people who could be in the match or in the ring are the referee and the 2 competitors in the match. They fucked this up from the get-go. The fact that they had the guy who invented this match give his thoughts on this show, on this match, and you're going to go out there and make a mockery of this man's creation? Wow. Holy shit. That was terrible. And on top of that, of course, you're going to have the explosions. There were some fucking crazy explosions, I will say that. There was the point, like, right towards the end of the match. We still had a good bit to go, but one of the last explosions we saw before the last explosion we saw, Kenny Omega, John Moxley, I think, was going for a suplex or a DDT or something. Kenny Omega decides he's going to push Moxley into the fucking barbed wire. Boom, explosion. Boom, explosion. His face goes completely boom. Both men take a hell of a hit, but right in the face goes Kenny Omega. Both men ended up bleeding. Like, holy shit. Now, one of the things about the match was there was a 30-minute time limit. When we hit that 30-minute time limit, the entire arena, the entire thing was supposed to explode. It was supposed to fucking explode. What did they do? Well, first off, the match was over with 5 minutes left to go. Because the Good Brothers came down. They got in the ring because, oh look, we left one of the slides open so the Good Brothers could come in. Then, we had Kenny Omega and them beat up this guy. And fuck. And now here on the on like a post-show thing, Tony Khan's trying to fucking put Kenny Omega as like he built this thing. Please, don't give me that fucking bullshit. And on top of this, they had the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega cuffed Jon Moxley because there is no kill switch. The thing about an exploding barbed wire death match, a real one, is that the match doesn't have a fucking kill switch. You fight until the bomb explodes. That's pretty much what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to fight till the bomb explodes, and the person who stands up at the end is your fucking winner. So they beat him, 5 minutes left. They start beating the hell out of him, cuff him, beat him up some more. When it comes down to 60 seconds, they get out of the match, out of the ring. Jon Moxley's down. Eddie Kingston fights to get into the ring, tries to get this guy out with like 10 seconds to go. He's like, oh shit, I can't do anything. Covers Jon Moxley. And what do we get? Sparklers. Fucking sparklers. They made a mockery of this match. I was excited to see a exploding barbed wire death match. But I didn't think they would go this fucking lame ass about it. I didn't think they would be this fucking pathetic about it. If you're not going to go fully into a legit barbed wire death match, do not even put the match on if you're going to half-ass it. This was the worst finish to a show in AEW history. They took a lot of faith in this company down the toilet. Holy fuck, what the fuck were they thinking? This was by far the dumbest end to a match or a show they have ever put on. This was just a terrible idea. It's like, if you want to do an exploding barbed wire death match, you're going to do the whole fucking thing. You're not going to sit there and half-ass it. But they did. I don't know what the hell these guys were thinking. I don't know if Tony Khan wants to sit there and say, oh, Kenny Omega built a dud. I know you're the one behind this, Tony. You're the one who books this shit. You're the one who approves this shit. If you thought this was a good fucking idea, don't ever fucking do this shit again. This was absolutely fucking stupid. It's like, what were they thinking? I never want to see them. Now, see, yeah, the big story they want to be is like, oh, Kenny Omega built a dud. Bullshit. Bullshit. You went out of your way to make this a fucking PG edition of a fucking exploding barbed wire death match. Don't do this again. I do not want to see them do anything like this again. If you're not going to put your full heart into it, fuck off. Don't do it. Plain and simple. I can't accept that. We shouldn't, as fans, accept that. You built this match up for weeks. For at least a few weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks. And that's the finish you're going to give us. I want everybody to hold Tony Khan and AEW's feet to the fire on this one. They do not allowed to make any excuses. I don't want to hear a damn person try to defend this shit. This was so bad. This show was on an A to a B plus to an A overall, but that finish dropped this down to a C minus to a D. That, you don't do that. If you're going to say we're going to do an exploding barbed wire death match and half-ass it, don't even start. Don't even attempt it. You give us some great fucking matches, you give us great fucking storylines, but you're going to insult your fans like that and pretend like we're fucking stupid. I thought I was watching All Elite Wrestling. I didn't realize I was watching WWE. Never again. A lot of trust AEW has lost a lot of trust in their fan base tonight. That's not something you should do. I know wrestling's not going to have a 100% hit rate. It's never going to happen. It's not possible to be 100%. But to deliberately do something like that, just so dumb. Well, that is your AEW Revolution review. They dropped the fucking ball. Plain and simple. You could have had an end of the night that people were going to talk about, and that's how you end it. Disappointment is not even the fucking word I can come up with. But thank you to everyone who watched that. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds of the France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/France Club, and find me on Instagram, The France Club. And I will see you guys on tomorrow for Raw. Until then, my name is The France, and I'll see you guys later.